Hey guys, I'm Andrei, a certified translator and a real estate concierge, I guess again with the prefix X. Well, I mean, technically I'm in town, I'm on the ground and operating, and I'm safe and reasonably safe to say a few things, free to say a few things to you tonight. The headlines are mounting like snowballs. So thank you for staying with the channel, thank you for your donations. A couple of people donated since last time, much appreciated. And let's see what's happening. As the sanctions are mounting up against Russia and not necessarily directly but also affecting Belarus, the rumors are about travel ban for Belarusians. Now Ukraine has opted for EU membership and there's some bureaucracy involved, but I guess they're not EU member any soon. So whoever speculates that Belarusians as a party at war cannot travel to an EU country, member country, are not quite right. If you know something clearly about this subject, please put a comment. For now, Belarusians can travel overseas, mostly to the west, also to the east actually, obviously not to the south pretty much, as long as they have a Schengen visa or any other visa that allows them to go to the west, to basically Schengen visa because it's overland travel. And that's about it. The limitations are on the local side. There has to be a specific business trip arranged by your company, working contract overseas, or hospitalization or educational contract from the foreign university or hospital. That's the reasons that allow one outside overland. Flights have no limits as long as there is a flight. There are few, by the way. If you try and maybe fail, because Airport BY local landings website, local national airport website, is not accessible overseas like many other government websites, like border control website. You'll see the actual landings, check-ins, registrations in progress for the real flights that are operating. You might use one of the apps like Flight Radar or something like this, because I guess they're not blocked anyhow. Or use VPN if that can apply to this situation of the blocked websites. This morning I helped a couple of guys with their exit visas. They were visa-free folks. Their flights got cancelled, so a fresh update on this account. The immigration officers are pretty okay with extending the stay. Technically it's called exit visa for 7, 14 days or 30 days if you present the favorable basis for that. But normally they just allow you to have some time frame to legally leave overland, because as you know, visa-free mode that takes you in and out of Belarus to Minsk National Airport, allowing you 30 days, up to 30 days visa-free, doesn't work for the land borders. That's why the exit visa is involved. It's so far 171 ruble of state fees involved, give or take, depending on the context and the specific situation, but it's smooth, it's half-hour work. There are no lines, nobody's horrified or anything, so things work in this respect quite efficiently. Economy has its own surprises in store, as the Western friends of ours are mounting up sanctions against Russian-based banks. Basically, some of their branches are here in Belarus. That affects the local users, card holders and businesses that have card readers from these banks. Transaction may not work for your foreign card, which is clearly innocent in terms of sanctions, because of the bank that processes the transaction. Something doesn't marry in the banking system and the purchase doesn't work. So my advice to anybody sticking around, to anybody coming in for some reason, have some cash, stock up some cash. You can bring in $10,000 worth of cash without declaration in your pocket. You don't have to be that extreme, of course, unless you're buying a little village house, but have some cash, it's very clear. Some relatives of the people or friends of the people who are here are asking me what to do, what to recommend to the locals. Locals know perfectly what to do. It's not really as extreme as buying tinned food and stuff like this, although a little stock up doesn't harm. I would say cash your savings, make it hard currency if possible, and buy some imports, because imports is likely to shrink from the shelves within the coming couple of months, as the importers will be confronted by increasing exchange rate and basically losing money on selling things as cheap. So they'll be going more expensive, or they'll just go off the shelves. You may have heard of another war development on top of other things like weapons mounting up, courtesy of the West that is not really keen to march into this war. Just add some hardware, just like in the Second World War. Unfortunately, let's say my fellow Russians are on the wrong side of the events, so it seems by now. To me, you may have a different opinion on that, guys. So the Belarusian elite units have moved into the southern country, into Ukraine basically, and this is another very unfortunate move because the Kremlin politicians are creating, although they may have some large-scale great political goals in mind, they are creating a huge pit between the two countries. And I'm saying this as a tour guide, as an ex-tour guide, because bringing these Slavic countries back together on friendship ties and everything is just impossible, I guess, from now on, because of the killings and violence that's happening instead of negotiating some things. It's just incredible, and I'm hugely against it, of course. Men in Belarus are subject to conscript. After you are 27, you're no longer eligible for draft. And guys like me, I'm a lieutenant in reserve. Although I'm not much of a lieutenant, honestly, it's mostly on the paper. There is some speculation between boys of my kind of age, like mid-30s, 40s, about possible conscript being sent to Ukraine. I don't think it's likely. If that ever happens, that means the war has been lost on this end, and it's really, really, really a crisis of the invading force. And that's invading force and it's war, not a bloody military operation as the Eastern media are describing it as. Some good people from the US, Australia, my subscribers are asking me if everything is safe and sound here. Well, in Minsk everything is just absolutely straight. Police is working. The other day some rally participants, guys who were against war and everything, and I fully support that move. Of the rally guys, of course, they were dispersed, some 800 people detained, so people went outdoors to protest against the move of their government, which they don't particularly like, well, some of them, if you remember the political events of August 2020 and further on. And yeah, so far Minsk, although it sounds kind of ironic, is safe and sound. So thank you very much for staying with the channel. I welcome all your questions underneath there. Maybe I've missed a couple of headlines I had in my crib here, but I'm a bit emotional by the end of the day. We've crossed a lot of T's today. Some people packed up and left. Some people are calm and are just trying to take in what's happening to adapt to the circumstances. I'm here. I'll stay here. It's my country. It's my place. Although I'm now an ex-tour guide and probably ex-real estate concierge. Thank you for being with me. Comment underneath, press likes, dislikes. I'm happy for any feedback. Any donations, 10, 20 bucks will be handy, of course. And again, ask what you're interested in from the perspective of a local. I'll try to give you some light, put some light on these things if I can. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you in Minsk, I guess, later than sooner. Cheers.